Hi guys, happy Sunday. By the time you get this, it will sure likely be Monday evening, but for the premise of doing the video, it is my Sunday that I'm reflecting on what I'm about to unpack with you, and I'm going to pre-apologize. Today is going to be probably lengthy, though that's not my goal, but there's so much I gotta say and so little time I gotta say it. And the reason why I'm starting with it being Sunday, it is a true day of reflection for me. I turn 43 next week. You know, birthdays are that time of our life where we tend to say, what next in terms of our accomplishments and our goals. Monday will happen to be my last day of my final mortgage payment, my first term of having owned this home, which also marks 1 week until my next mortgage renewal period comes up, which is what I'm going to call D-Day for organized crime. June 30th is the target on my back. Monday is also going to be the last of my mortgage payment for my first term, which is going to be my first time financially in 5 years where I am unprepared, and that's okay. Come Monday, I will have been shy about 1,000, give or take, of not being able to make my mortgage payment, which is about 4,500 plus a month. Yep, that's crazy. I'm well aware of that. And I've done it for 5 years in the midst of all that I've suffered through, believe that or not, and no shame in saying if I needed to take a side job and clean someone's house, so be it. No shame in that, okay? My point I'm trying to make is I come here today on Sunday, one day before my once upon a time where organized crime entered into my life. I'm going to say I am no longer a victim, but I'm healed. And why do I say that? Because it only takes the one time to show others like you how to heal, what healing looks like. And that is to be vulnerable, to say to you, I truly have no clue how Monday is going to look like, but that's okay. I'm breaking my silence. I'm not saying, oh no, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Yep, we're good. And then try to run around and figure out a way, shape, or form to hustle that, make money, do what I gotta do. Please, I say that lightly, as in no any monkey funky business, but just regular types of gigs. Point is to have empathy. Me being honest here is hopefully going to teach you what empathy looks like. And I'm hoping that if you can see the predicament that I'm in, together as one, we stand as mankind versus being divided where everybody lives this pretentious life of everything is fine, nothing is wrong. Meanwhile, they just don't want to be judged on how much do they have their things together. Or, oh my gosh, can you believe Nick's in that position? Or whatever, the judgment call, self-judgment. And that's why it's taken me so long to edit this video, because self-judgment has totally seeped in. But I said, you know what? I'm a mental health advocate. I walk my talk. This is me walking my talk. I am saying hashtag stop the silos. Stop saying that we're okay when we're not okay. Stop saying that, no, everything's peachy. Everything's not peachy. And I'm going to say this to you. Just as much as you're finding out that I'm a victim of organized crime, surprise, surprise, so is my family. Okay? I've kept my silence for 5 years. For many, many reasons. But nonetheless, in breaking silence, there's a couple of things I need to break down in order for us to understand. You keep hearing me talk about cognitive dissonance. You know, and I'm going to say to you, if you read anything here on the left, history's a lie, money's a hoax, debt is a fiction, media is manipulation, government is a corporation, the system is an illusion, the first thing you would think by those words is, oh my God, Nick is a conspiracy theorist. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the words that we use, 7% of communication, as a linguist, as a behavioral coach, as a neurolinguistics practitioner, master trainer, we all have titles, and I hate throwing titles. I really do. I really do. I gotta say that. I really do. This is my business card. I don't know if anybody can see this, but most people on their business card will put like the biggest titles with nice fonts and da-da-da-da-da. I walk my talk. My business card, I created this, 5 years ago? The smallest title on it. And my title, not CEO, not president, not owner-operator, humble servant. Just saying. The words we use, okay? The words we use, kind of, sort of, not a big deal, 7%, but oh my, very, very, very important. Because if I change those words around on your right, history is based on one's perception. Well, guess what? When you and I have two differing perceptions, somebody might call that a lie. Words, 7%. Money is a hoax? Well, guess what? Money, ladies and gentlemen, is a tree. It's paper. It truly has no value, no monetary value. It's the systems that we have in play that dictate the value of that piece of paper. Think about it. Hence, hoax. Debt is a fiction. That is unreal. You unknowingly and willfully register debt to yourselves, and I will prove that to you throughout my stories. Hence, it's a fiction. Media. Nobody wants to think media is manipulation. Media is programming, constant repetition of thoughts, words, actions, body language running through your brain 24/7. Your thoughts inform your actions, ladies and gentlemen, hence the word manipulation. When we're stuck on media, and media is not just TV. When we're stuck on media, what do you think is manipulating your thoughts? It's what you're feeding it. Government is a corporation. Well, I can nicely say government is a business, no? Ran by people, no? Who may risk corruptive actions, no? Why? Greed. Money is not the root of all evil. It's the love of money. Greed. Hence, the systems follow the money. Is an illusion. Appears to help, but truly, truly can hurt. And that is why you've seen this picture before. I believe it was from my first video that I dropped on LinkedIn. I'm going to call out the word fringe here under the organized chaos. Our government so nicely coined many of us as fringed minorities. And our non-manipulative news showed us some real news. And boy, wasn't the convoy a turnout? Words, 7%, huh? And that's why, guys, it's so important as I unpack the things that I've gone through, lived through, that have absolutely impacted my own mental healthiness. And guys, FYI, we all suffer from mental health. Mental health is your emotions taking a dip, day in and day out. Mental illness is a little bit different, and we'll get through that a little bit later. But for now, cognitive dissonance. When two opposing ideas in your head run away from each other. Facts, logical side of your brain, versus your belief system, your values, right side of your brain, where your emotions live in your long-term memory. You've heard me say your brain is a machine. We program thoughts in there constantly. Our brain searches for sameness. That's why nobody needs to tell you, run program, go brush your teeth when you wake up. It's the sameness that your brain has searched for its whole life. Well, guess what? Your whole life, your whole family's generation, where you've lived, the freedoms that you enjoy, that has been associated with the value system in your mind of our wonderful government and systems in place to protect it. Meanwhile, they sit in the middle, no spotlight on them, and they're the ones pushing the two opposing ideas. Pro-choice, your body, your choice. Still, your body, your choice. Mandated, non-pro-choice. But we don't see the common denominator. We just see the dust, the output of where the noise sits. Hides behind beautiful, wonderful words, just like our judicial system. We place our hand on a Bible, to swear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God. What if you don't believe in God? But that's the process of the judicial system. You got to place your hand on the Bible and agree to that. Well, even if you don't want to say, I don't want to get into titles. Let's just leave it at, what if you don't believe in God? But yet, your integrity is compromised right there. And you have to use words to present your case, to show evidence based on facts to the common law system. Now, common law system, guys, governs the land. Land, 30% of the world's composite. Bible, guys, governs admiral law, Adam's law, Abrahamic law, maritime law, aka maritime sea. World is also composed of 70% water. Two opposing systems, yet we have to fit a circle in a square based on the words we use. And this is where I say, the sea of a human mind, these are all your value systems, all the things that are in that book that you believe in, cannot conform with the prison systems or sentences, a whole bunch of words that we give ourselves. Because what if you're operating from broken values and not healed values? Then everything in your belief system by default is broken. Hence your behaviors that land you in trouble with common law. Yet, we got to use words from one to fix the other. I'm telling you, if we're still not understanding what I'm trying to put down, I promise I'll keep trying to make it better. But nonetheless, guys, this is where I say enough is enough, right? Our mental health suffers day in and day out. And when we try to play charades and tell everybody we're fine, and we all know we have our own internal struggles that we go through day in and day out. For me, it's organized crime. For you, it could be your children. It could be your job. It could be your boss. It could be your dog. It could be whatever. We dip all day on an emotional roller coaster. And that's where I say have empathy. Have empathy. Be able to talk about it. Don't look at someone like they have four heads when they tell you they can't afford their mortgage and they have no clue. And please hear me clearly. This is not about a GoFundMe page. This is not about I can't afford my mortgage. Things have been structured in my sphere to purposely prevent me from having the ability to be able to afford my mortgage. Trying to get the additional income, legalize my downstairs, I'm stopped by bylaw. Trying to open up my space for summer, my pool. Again, you heard the recording last week, 2 different stories from Enbridge surrounding my heater. Intentional? I don't know. Nonetheless, mental health is a huge one for me. Huge one, and not just because of what I've gone through. While I was going through what I was going through, I had to live through some real tough scenarios here in this home. Most people look at their home as love, memories, all the good stuff. Since I've landed in this home, it's been turmoil. I got here, I had to care for, I signed up for, wanted to, loved the fact that, but it wasn't easy caring for my dad going through Alzheimer's. And it was not the happy senior moments that we had. It was the angry, abusive, aggressive senior moments that we had that ended up my dad being incarcerated. Ended up his mental health completely declining. Then boom, cancer, 5 months. Bye, Daddy. How did I make it through that on top of everything that I've dealt with? On top of suddenly losing my job, C-suite executive, 9 months after I purchased my home. Suddenly, I lose my job on a Friday? See, any HR professional could tell you, you don't fire anybody on a Friday, much less a C-suite level executive. When the company is well aware I'm caretaking for my father going through a mental health decline, to be let go without prejudice. And the irony of this, when we talk about integrity, they have an arm of whistleblower Isn't a whistleblower the integrity of other companies' integrity? Yet, my company does this to me? You know, and I don't even want to go there because it was not even about the wrongness of how it went down. My statutes of limitations, that's been up. I'm not suing nobody for nothing. It was never about the money for me. I looked at it as it was a blessing. I had 2 years off to take care of my dad. And how I did that was applying what you see in front of you, love. Truly understanding what selfless love looked like. Not that I had to rearrange my schedule so I could be there at my dad's appointment so I can know what his doctors are saying, because he surely can't remember. He's going through dementia. My mom, she's a senior. She's not going to be able to make sense of it. How can I be there for them? How can I question, is the medication he's going to take going to counteract with his alcohol addiction? Instead of being self-focused, leaving it for the doctors to do. No, I care for my dad. I can give the best assessment for him. I'm with him 24/7. You see him once every 2 weeks, and you know him based on his documented actions that he, as a dementia patient, remembers to tell you. It's been a journey. It's been quite the journey. So when I look at how we heal in society today, we do it in silos. We don't integrate what's going on in our mind because we don't let people know. Things that are happening in our body, whether that's called depression, whether that's called stress, whether that's called bipolar, whether that's called whatever, title, 7%. It's tabooed. So when we give it a name, either that person lives up to try to disprove what they're being stereotyped as, or the opposite end, either disprove it or prove it. So we're essentially sentencing people by a title which suppresses their emotions, their spirit, their soul, their gut, their intuition, whatever word you want to put on it. Mind, body, and soul in silos. Because we truly don't get to have empathy to others, to allow a space for them to be able to talk. So I'm proposing unity. How do we get our body and our spirit to unite as one and actually talk about their emotions and feelings and process their trauma? Secret? The words we use. And this is not the time or place to do it. But before I can even get you there, we gotta stop the silos. We gotta start changing how we look at things. Most of us, when you see my post go up there, you see, 3 likes, 16 likes, whatever. It's not high on the Richter scale. And that is how you gauge engagement. And I'm gonna tell you right now, likes, that's a popularity contest. Because if you look at any millennial scrolling through social media, their level of engagement is when their thumb can collide with their screen and stop and do a double take. That, folks, is not engagement. That's a reaction. What are you engaging? Your thumb? Engagement looks like having a conversation, having a response, using your 7% words, your tone, and your physiology, your nonverbals. This is what engagement looks like. This is how you measure engagement. Please, please, please look at the impressions. That's how, please research it yourselves so you know. Don't just take my word for it, but stop basing it based on the likes that you see. There is engagement going on with these posts. People just don't want to come out and say, wow, Nick, you've got some guts, or wow, Nick, I like to say I've got chesticles. I grew up 23 years in the auto field. I grew up in a house of 2 brothers, a dad, just mom and I. We were the only ladies. Okay? Look at the amount of time that the actual video is performing. People that are actually watching it. They're pressing play. They're engaging their fingers, not with just the like, with their ears and with their mind. That takes more time than double clicking on a like. And we all know time is valuable. Same with the posts. The posts are more of the visuals. Again, don't look at likes. That is just a reaction. That is not true measure of engagement. The results of the visuals tells you, based on the analytics, who's the audience? Why are certain people watching? And I'll go as further to say, we as people, you've heard me say, we don't listen to understand, we listen to respond. I've put this up, I believe it was the second video I dropped, saying to you guys, hey, this is an email exchange between myself, and I'm going to say, officials, making them aware that there's other people that fall in the same bucket as I do. Unaware that their finished basement didn't have a permit for it when they bought it like that. And now being told either rip it down, force me to do a renovation that I've said to them I can't financially afford right now. Or change my entire plan because it was for income. I wanted to be a legal landlord instead of an illegal landlord. But now that I've made them aware, in order for me to be compliant, I have a list of things that I have to do. So I said, well, now that I made you aware that everybody else in my neighborhood has finished basements, why is it me suddenly being the one called out of having to do? Instead, I get an escalated response with 3 seniors copied on it to tell me that I've got to either do the 3 things they've originally told me. No, I don't. And I don't engage in criminal activity. Did I say that out loud? No, sorry, it's not criminal activity. It's the city. How dare I? But please, have a read. You be the judge. Intentional versus unintentional. Now, last but not least, I'll say follow the money. In the previous one, if you guys don't believe me, why is it the city's telling me to put in a claim through my insurance? I told you. Insurance, highly lucrative industry. I should know. I'm certified as an insurance and finance professional. Follow the money. Just look at one of my posts. Why is it from that post, TrepNet's looking at me? I asked the question because Honda taught me 5Y drill down. Why? Why is TrepNet looking at me? Who's TrepNet? Oh, gee, they're the people that do the PPSA lien registrations on properties. The same people that the town mentioned that I should follow up with to put an insurance claim on that I'm a week away from being home free. And by the way, guys, we're not even going to get into that today. We'll get into that later. No problem. I am out of compliance. I'm still going to try to be a good girl. I'm going to seek people who actually have integrity for help. Because, bylaws don't just apply to me. They apply to everybody. Meanwhile, back at the farm, when I made the city aware in previous times of violations, falls on deaf ears. Bylaws apply to me, but they don't apply for me. Stemming all the way back to 2018. This is not anything new, guys. Since I moved into here, I've had a requisition in with the city for my city fence being out of compliance. I have a pool. 5-foot fence, anybody can see into my backyard. Anybody could jump my backyard, furthermore. But yet, my work order, my annual follow-ups fall on deaf ears. But as soon as I make the city aware of something that I'm trying to do the right way, I get told, rip it down. Otherwise, a lien is going to get slapped on my home. I'm sorry, that sounds like coercion, and I called that out if you read that email very well. But don't believe me. You have my evidence. Internal auditor for Honda for many, many years. Please take a read and see for yourself. So I asked the question, is it my turn or yours? Because here's where I'm at. I have broken my silence. I have engaged the right people that I need to engage in order to try to help me fight whatever's left of my organized crime experience. I am not doing anything more. If I don't make that mortgage payment, guess what? I'm sure I will. I'm sure somebody will help. I'm sure someone can send an e-transfer. But what I will say to you is if you believe that you have integrity, that your integrity will not be compromised, that I am trying to replenish integrity back into systems that lack it by holding ourselves accountable. If laws apply to everybody, guys, then why is it just me? Why is it my property being singled out? If you have integrity, here's your call to action. If you bought your house with an unfinished basement, and I think most of us have, please, by all means, file a complaint on yourself. Because guess what? If you have a pool, and all of a sudden it's breeding West Nile mosquitoes, file a complaint on yourself. See where that lands you. Because if the laws apply to everybody, and everybody files a complaint, and the city has to investigate every complaint, is the city going to coerce the entire town with a lien on their home? Or was it just me? Because that, my wonderful friends, that sounds like a class action lawsuit. And if you are just a regular schmegular, just like me, trying to make a buck, trying to survive, trying to leave something for our next generation, I have the story, I have the evidence, I have all the proof to fight this till the end. But I'm just done. I'm no longer running. I'm no longer not talking. I am done. And I am asking you to help me stand and use your words, your 7%, and make it work for you and not against you. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all play this again. I know it's a long one. There's a lot of things I've unpacked. Have faith in my integrity. That's what I ask. Have a good night, and until next time all. Cheers.